Hello, and welcome to my presentation on blockchain technology. And today I'm going to go over the highlights on the paper I wrote on blockchain technology. First, let's start with who I am. My name is Neil Welch. I'm 17 years old and I'm a senior at Sauerly Academy. I'm from Maryland, but I live in North Carolina. I've lived in North Carolina for 13 years of my life, so good portion of my life took up that role. But let's go ahead and look at the topics that we will discuss in this presentation. But before we do that, I want to talk about why I took this class. So I took this class to further my education on cybersecurity. And coming into this class, I didn't know anything about cybersecurity. I thought a honey pot was something honey was kept in. And now, that's not the case here. But now let's jump right in and go ahead and look at the specifics of what we'll cover. So we'll go over how businesses are cutting costs with the inclusion of blockchain technology and how this technology gives these businesses reassurance that they previously did not have. Next, we'll take a look at the amount of jobs that a company or business would be able to cut if a blockchain system were to be input into their respective company. We'll also take a look at how, while this will help a company, how if more and more companies continue to implement blockchain, how many employees would be out of work. And finally, we'll revisit the origins of blockchain. So let's go ahead and start with the cutting costs or saving money aspect of blockchain technology. When a company decides to input a blockchain design system into their own company, many things are happening. One of those many things are the amount of jobs a company could possibly cut. And I say possibly because with this new technology, one can't exactly tell if these jobs were already in place before or not. That meaning if you were in the actual business. But not only does this cut spending costs for companies, but it also allows the company to have more peace of mind with not having to deal with trust as much as they would in a normal human being with basic security analysts performing these types of things, which are now done with blockchain technology. And with a lower amount of employees, these companies and more businesses are saving costs not only with less employees, but by using the intended platform or a distributed ledger, as this will save on a number of various things. Next, we will look at the jobs that will or would be lost. For example, if a company were to execute the blockchain technology into their company, now as these people would be let go when it comes to a company that chooses to implement blockchain technology, it is not to say that these people would be out of work for some time, as these specialty workforce areas are always needed, well, at least for now they are. But if these companies continue to choose blockchain technology, it is likely that one day these positions, jobs, and even careers could all vanish eventually. It's quite fascinating, but also at the same time, also very sad when I think of the amount of jobs lost. A huge part of this paper was actually presented to me by the BetterWorkingWorld.com reference on blockchain, what comes first, opportunity or threat. I'd like to look at the opportunity that blockchain presents, but also lack of human trust and verification. That reference I just mentioned played a big part for me as it describes, well, yes, the advancements of blockchain are quite unique, but also one to be frightened if one is in a position of financial transfer as of today, and various other vulnerable jobs and careers that blockchain could eventually erase. Now, finally, I wanted to look back at the history of blockchain and what the intentional purpose of blockchain was made for. So, in 2007 to 2008, a group of people by the name or under the alias of Satoshi Nakamoto created the technology we now know as blockchain. The intent for the technology was for the digital currency Bitcoin, which we probably all know now, it was designed for the currency Bitcoin, as I just mentioned. But I think with the rise of Bitcoin, the technology that kept the Bitcoin idea safe also rose with recognition, that being, of course, blockchain. Now, since Bitcoin itself is an intricate design, the blockchain design, you would think, needed to be quite complex. But that's not exactly what happened with it. A blockchain works as follows. when someone or something requests a transaction, the transaction is then confirmed by both parties to ensure the safety and confirmation that the data is incorrect. It is then put into a blockchain in which one can see the transaction history, but not overwrite the transaction amounts or data. With that being said, I think that will wrap us up here. You can see these main references I used for my paper and presentation. I've listed all the references that you see here, the 4 that follow underneath, and you'll probably see about over 30 references on the actual paper itself. So I hope that this was able to maybe enlighten my paper, but also your own knowledge of blockchain if I did it correctly. So I'd like to thank you for viewing this presentation, and hopefully you have a good day, and thank you. God bless.